Carita Parks with Bowie TV. I am here with Kaelyn Buskey. She is the assistant strength and conditioning coach for the Baltimore Ravens. We are at the Women's Forum where you participated in a panel with other women coaches from across the league. So first of all, I have other questions, but tell me about that experience, just being on this panel surrounded by other women in this league, coaches doing a variety of jobs.
Yeah, 100%. So last year, I had two friends that were on the panel and there were only 6 of them. And this year there are 12. Wow. So in a single year, we've doubled the amount of people that are on this panel. So just to be a part of that is super special, something that I hold really close to my heart. And then to be on the panel with other strength coaches that do the same thing that I do, that work with players the same way that I do, to be able to meet other people that are doing that job. That's super important to me, just to make sure that I'm always getting better, right? Like, they're people that I can talk to and be a better strength coach. So to get to meet them, not only other coaches in the league, but other women coaches in the league, like, is super, super important to me. And so I'm just really grateful to be here.
Yeah, it's very powerful. Now, strength and conditioning, we hear that terminology all the time.
Yeah.
But for those who are not like in the day-to-day of the ministry, or in the day-to-day of things.
Yeah.
Can you just explain a little bit about what you're actually doing for the Baltimore Ravens as an assistant strength and conditioning coach?
Yeah, so at its foundational level, our goal is our guys are ready to play their best on Sunday. Our job as strength conditioning coaches is to get our guys there. And so we're super fortunate with a staff of 5 that we have a little bit more flexibility in terms of making that a little bit more unique for guys, because every one of our players is different, from the way they want to train to the way we interact with them. So just working with our players to get them ready to be their best selves on Sunday. And so that looks, for us, in the weight room, we're really focusing on just enhancing where they're at athletically, and trying to balance out things that they need to improve on. And so that's really what we do as strength conditioning coaches.
Great. And something that was discussed today is the fact that, Ron Rivera a couple years ago stood up and said, why aren't we hiring more women?
Right.
So for a league that, is there, but at one point didn't hire as many women, what made you want to get into the line of work of strength and conditioning? And what made you, were you targeting getting the NFL? Like, kind of what made you go this route?
Yeah, it's funny. So everyone asked me if I had always seen myself working in the NFL, and I'd be lying if I said the answer was yes. And part of that was because when I turned on the TV on Sunday when I was 7, 8, 9, 10, I didn't look on a sideline and see anyone that looked like me, right? So working in the NFL wasn't something that I ever saw as a career move. I got here, I fell in love with the game, I fell in love with this process, working with players, working at this level, working with these people. And once you get your foot in the door, it's really hard to leave because it's one of the best experiences. So
great. Now, something that stood out to me, and we were talking about this earlier, is just the opportunity that this forum brings to the young adults that were participating today.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't always see something like this.
Right.
So just talk about like what this experience is like for those who were participating, or I should say the benefits of it for those who were participating.
Yeah, I think visibility is super important, like we had talked about. So like for girls to be able to come here that are at the college level, even at the high school level, and to see that, like, hey, you can do this, this is possible, there are women in these roles that want to help you, have been where you've been. I think that's super, super important, because I think sometimes it's hard to see that pathway. And so like making it as visible as possible, more girls are going to want to start developing an interest in this at a younger age, so maybe the long road won't be as long to get here for them.
Yeah. And along those same lines, what are you hoping that they take away from what they're hearing today? Or this is a 2-day event, so like at the end of these 2 days, what are you hoping that they take away?
I hope that girls get exposed to what really working in the NFL is like. I know that sometimes it has this pretty picture, and getting this close to coaches, you really get to see what working in the NFL as an employee, but then also as a female employee is like. And so I really hope that girls take that away, make some new connections, meet some new people. Your network is your net worth, right? So always trying to build that. Just one, because it makes you smarter. Like, surrounding yourself with smarter people is how you get better, right? And so that's kind of what I hope people take away from this.
Great. And then my last one for you. Ravens, a lot of representation here today.
Yeah.
Says a lot about the organization.
Yeah.
What's it been like working for what I would say is one of the model organizations in the NFL, especially from a diversity and inclusion perspective?
No doubt. I got to Baltimore in 2021 as a training camp intern, and I expected to look around and be severely outnumbered. And I looked around and I saw our head of sports nutrition is a female. Our GM and our head coach both have female assistants. We have women in player personnel. We have women in the equipment room. There's not a department that you don't look around that building and find intellectually superior people that are women, right? And so getting there, you immediately feel like it's not a thing. It's really not. I got in there, I worked hard, I listened, I learned. Me being female didn't make a difference, right? And because there's so many other women in that league, or in that building, the adjustment is so much smoother. I could not be more grateful to the heads of our organization, Ozzie Newsome, Eric DaCosta, Coach Harbaugh,
who was
here today,
yeah.
Right? You heard amazing things from Coach about how he wants to hire the best people.
Right. And it doesn't matter if you are female or not, you're just a coach.
Exactly.
I took that away.
100%. And we talked about talking the culture and then being the culture. And I think it's hard pressed not to look around the Baltimore Ravens and know that he doesn't just talk culture, he is that culture.
That's a great way to end it. Coach Harbaugh and the Ravens organization is about action.
Yes, most definitely.
Well, thank you so much, Kaelyn, for your time. Appreciate it. You have been great.
Thank
Love
you.
your energy.
Thank you
for being with us. This is Carita Parks of TV.